Welcome to the Man United stream, hope you're doing well. In today's show it's all about one thing, the game against Copenhagen last night in the Champions League. What went wrong? That's what everyone is asking. All the fans are shocked and just left dismayed about what happened last night. Why did we end up losing that game? The VAR, it just felt like we just got robbed and shafted in that game last night. It did not feel like we deserved to lose. We're going to be discussing that and more in today's show, so make sure you stick around, make sure you hit the like button on this video, and if you're new to the Man United stream channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all the latest Man United news and opinions. Okay, so let's kick off today's show with looking back at that match last night in the Champions League against Copenhagen. It was a must-win game. We knew the atmosphere is not going to be friendly towards Man United. The Danish fans had already said that they will make it a nightmare for Man United to come there, and that's exactly what they did. They were really hyped up. Everyone was aggressive on the Copenhagen team, but Man United really did quieten that crowd down really quickly. We got the first goal through Rasmus Højlund and then the second goal as well, and the whole Copenhagen stadium just felt silent. It was brilliant. It was just the perfect start to that game. Man United were absolutely coasting. We were in control. It just did not look like Copenhagen were going to score a goal, and United actually looked like they're going to score 3, 4 or 5. I was just getting carried away. I was so excited at watching United play, and it finally felt like that this is what we've been waiting for all season. United to finally click and look like a dangerous team, and United every time they were attacking looked like they were going to score. I think Rasmus could have had a hat-trick already before that controversial decision against Rashford. Now, in watching it in real time, it didn't look serious, and you could hear the commentators actually say the same thing. When they first watched it, they were like, no, it's fine, it's not a red card, not even a yellow. Look, it just looked like it was an accident, he just spun around. But then came VAR and that slow motion. Now, if you know anything about slow motion, you know that everything gets exaggerated to 100 degrees. So everything went from 0 to 100 very quick with that tackle, or not even a tackle. It wasn't even a tackle. It was shielding the ball. Rashford had to plant his foot somewhere, and between him planting his foot to the ground, the other Copenhagen player came in and slotted his foot underneath Rashford's boot. That's what happened. And if VAR and the officials can't see that happening objectively, then there's a huge problem with the officials and the rules of the game. It's just going to spoil the actual game that we're trying to watch and enjoy. Rashford should not have got sent off. I mean, the worst case scenario is maybe a yellow card, but even that would have been unjustified. It was just a ridiculous decision. It was a decision that you knew was going to have repercussions throughout the game. Man United were in control, but even then you thought maybe, just maybe, Man United can keep out Copenhagen. It's a 2-0 lead, maybe continue playing on the counter-attack and still get a goal and completely shut down the game. There was still plenty of time left to play in that first half, so you knew Man United still had to work hard, still had to do a job out there, and could not go to sleep. The worst case scenario was to lose that lead, and that's exactly what happened. We lost the first goal, our heads went. We've seen this so many times in the Premier League this season, where United just simply cannot defend to save their lives, and that's exactly what happened. The first goal went in. There was some objection to a player standing offside, but again, it's clear to see that we haven't had that luck falling down on our side. It's always been against us. All these decisions that have been coming have been against United, and we have lost goals as a result. VARs, refereeing decisions, it's been completely ridiculous. But that first goal went in, and you thought, right, okay, maybe still United can keep that lead of 2-1 and go in at half-time and regroup and get things sorted. But the worst thing happened, and you knew as soon as Copenhagen levelled, that is it. Copenhagen are going to be up for the game, and second half United will have to play out their skins to keep them out of their goal. Now, the second goal Copenhagen got was through that penalty again. It was a ridiculous decision of handball against Harry Maguire. How can you give a handball when the ball goes to hand and it's literally a metre or less away? You cannot expect the player to move his hand, and you couldn't even argue that Harry Maguire had his hand in an unorthodox position. It was down below his side. How can that be a handball? It was just a ridiculous decision. It was a heads gone moment, but we ended up going in at halftime 2-2, and that was going to be a very, very difficult task of United coming back out in the second half and keeping Copenhagen out. And in the second half, a miracle took place because VAR decided in favour of Man United. Yes, we got awarded a penalty, and Bruno Fernandes slotted that penalty away really well, and he had a very good game last night, I must admit. Actually, saying that, most of the Man United players did have a decent game. The only player that could possibly have a go at and probably point the finger at was Diego Dalot. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because he fell asleep and let Copenhagen come back into the game and score that 3-3 goal, and leaving them to go on and win it 4-3 in the final moments of that game. I mean, it just felt like we just got robbed. I mean, Man United should have won that game comfortably. We looked like we were coasting, and then it was these bad decisions by the referee and by VAR that just led us to lose that game. It should have been a simple game. We had it all under control, and that's why I can't blame Ten Hag or his team. Actually, I would say that it was one of their best performances that I've seen under Ten Hag this season. It was brilliant to watch. They played really well. They looked like they were just out to score loads of goals, and suddenly the VAR, the referees, just came in and destroyed everything that was going on that pitch. It was horrendous to watch, and it just felt like we got cheated. I don't know about you. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of that game. Do you feel Man United deserved to win, or do you feel that was a fair result last night? And what the hell did you think about the refereeing and VAR decisions? Do you think they changed the game, and why? Now, for us, it's quite obvious. The sending off of Rashford changed the game. The poor decisions by the referee changed the game. And if it wasn't for Rashford being sent off, I think we would have quite easily won that game. Copenhagen were already down and dusted. They did not know what had hit them, going 2-0 down already early on in that first half. They did not have a way to come back into the game. But once Rashford got sent off, they got their heads up again and decided to play again. Rashford was actually doing a really good job down that right wing. He was actually defending. First time I've seen him actually defend deep. Rashford was coming back, making sure that he was collecting the ball and then getting it forward to Rasmus Højlund. It was great to watch. It was finally coming together, and it was just all destroyed by these bad refereeing decisions. I mean, some people might blame the players, saying that they still lost a 2-0 lead and then went on and lost that 3-2 lead, and they should have kept Copenhagen out, and Copenhagen are not a good enough team, and I accept those are fair criticisms, and that's a fair opinion to have. Copenhagen is a team that Man United, even with 10 men, should be winning. Why we're struggling to beat such teams, I have no idea. It's really difficult to put your finger on. Is it Ten Hag? Is it the players? What is going on? One thing is clear, we've got lots of injuries. Luke Shaw's not there. Martinez is not there. They would have made a huge difference in that team last night. You'd like to think that if Luke Shaw was playing in last night's game, he wouldn't have made the same mistakes as Dalot. He might have been better defensively. And Martinez, well, we all know Martinez is a class defender, and he's been missed hugely by that Man United team. Evans and Maguire and Varane. Varane had a really poor game when he came on for Johnny Evans, who got injured. Now, we're not quite sure what's going on with Ten Hag and Varane. We think it could be down to the fact that he keeps getting injured, and Ten Hag is trying to protect him, trying to bring him back slowly within the game, because every time we rush Varane back into the games, it seems like he picks up another injury and he's back off on the sidelines for a couple of months again. So rather than bringing him back and rushing him back, I think Ten Hag might be giving him time to relax and slowly build him back up into match fitness. So what now? What happens to Man United in the Champions League? Now, mathematically, we can still qualify for the next round. However, we're playing Galatasaray away, and then we've got Bayern Munich. Now, both these games are huge, and they're not going to be easy. If we're struggling against the likes of Copenhagen, I mean, Galatasaray away from home in Turkey is going to be a hellhole. The atmosphere will be intense, and Galatasaray have not lost many games at home. They've got a formidable record at home, and United would have to play out of their skins to go out there and get a result against Galatasaray. And then we've got the huge game against Bayern Munich. Now, I'm still confident that we can do a number on Bayern Munich. I don't think they're playing that well. I think Thomas Tuchel hasn't been getting the best out of that team, even though they've got Harry Kane scoring goal after goal. I think we can do a job on them, and I think we can go out there and win against them, but we have to be playing our very best. Now, that's the problem. What is our very best? Have we got the players available to play against these teams? If we're playing Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire in centre-back, that tells you everything about this current Man United team. It's simply not good enough. On paper, we haven't got the players to go into these big games and get our wins. That's the problem. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Man United's chances of qualifying for the Champions League next round. Do you think they've got a chance, or do you think it's all over? Do you think we need to just accept that it's all over and we need to start concentrating on the Premier League and trying to get our players back up to fitness? One thing is for sure, that the players will be down after that game. They did play well, they did give it their all. I felt really sorry for some of those players out there. Rasmus Højlund out there playing out of his skin and not getting a win. We need to still stick with the team, still remain confident, still hope that Man United can turn a corner and finally get something in their favour and start winning. Make sure you hit the like button on this video, make sure you subscribe. You were watching the Man United Stream channel, a channel by the fans for the fans.